Fuck yeah, come on.
But we just getting started. We win this battle, we take the city.
Hey, Tommy. Make him suffer.
Just like Kanan did for me and Ghost.
Only days left until Power Book 4 Force begins, and I gotta say, I can't contain my excitement anymore. I know you're just as hyped as I am, so today I'm going to talk about what we might see in the first episode of the final season of Force and throughout the rest of the season. Get ready because this time, Christmas is really getting canceled. Season 3 will start exactly as we expected, with Tommy raiding Miguel's place to rescue Mireya. As we saw in the latest clip shared by Stars, Tommy once again couldn't control his temper and went in alone without any plan to save Mireya. But unfortunately, even if you're Tommy Egan, you can't handle that many people all by yourself. So it looks like Miguel has cornered Tommy. But don't worry, Miguel won't be able to do anything to Tommy because both of them work for Che, and hurting each other is not even an option. That's why we might even see them make some sort of deal. Most likely, Miguel will ask Tommy to work for him and hand over his operations in exchange for allowing him to be with Mireya. I believe Tommy's priority will be Mireya, so he might accept Miguel's offer at first. But as I'll mention soon, things could get complicated as the season goes on. So will Tommy find peace after saving Mireya? Of course not. Because as we saw at the end of last season, Claudia Flynn and Mirkovich, who Tommy put in prison, might be out and ready to cause trouble for him right from the first episode. Mirkovich was just about to become Chicago's most powerful crime lord when Tommy ruined all his plans. That's why I think Mirkovich might use his power to get out of prison and swear revenge on Tommy. Claudia, on the other hand, might use her influence and the excuse of being stabbed to get released. At this point, I think Claudia is the one who hates Tommy the most, so we might see her leading all these revenge plans. Another threat getting out of prison will definitely be King Kilo. He knows his nephew was killed by D-Mac, so the first thing King Kilo will do after getting out is go after D-Mac and CBI. That's why right after rescuing Mireya, Tommy might go to D-Mac and ask him to stay close for his own safety. And here, as we saw in the teaser, just like Kanan did to Ghost and Tommy, Tommy will baptize D-Mac, and from this point on, I think D-Mac will turn into a complete war machine, because if he doesn't, this could be the end for both Tommy and D-Mac. Their enemies are growing fast. Among those enemies, as you might guess, will be Shanti and Jannard. For now, they seem to be helping Tommy and Diamond, but we know their real goal is to take over CBI and all the organizations. So from the very first episode, they'll be looking for weaknesses in Tommy and Diamond. At this point, D-Mac could really be Tommy's eyes, the one who keeps watch. And we can't move on without talking about another rat, Vic. At the end of season 2, Tommy realized that Vic was working with the FBI. And I don't think Vic has much time left this season. In the teaser, we saw Vic being drowned by someone, and in the trailer, we saw FBI agent Bobby DeFranco looking shocked after seeing a body in the street. Most likely, Tommy will first threaten Vic by drowning him in water, but since Vic will keep snitching, we might see Tommy killing him right in the middle of the street later in the season. Now, let's get to the main war. What will happen in this action-packed grand finale of Force? Honestly, I don't think Tommy can handle all these enemies with just D-Mac and Diamond's help. Plus, his relationship with Diamond isn't always smooth. They might even go their separate ways several times throughout the season. That's why I believe the one who will really help Tommy is Tariq, who's confirmed to appear in the show. Remember, in the original Power, Tariq and Tommy promised to help each other when times got tough. And as we saw at the end of Power Book 2 Ghost, it's very likely that Tariq is answering that call for help from Tommy. During the war with the Serb Mafia, Claudia, and King Kilo, Tariq will play a major role. And this big war will probably start because of JP Gibbs' death, since we saw a funeral scene in the trailer and we heard Kate saying, "Make them suffer." I unfortunately think JP Gibbs' death is inevitable. And since this death will deeply affect both D-Mac and Tommy, they'll probably turn into absolute beasts. With Tariq and Diamond joining in, we'll see these enemies fall one by one. The final battle of the series will likely be between Che, Miguel, Shanti, Jannard, and Tommy's crew. Once Shanti and Jannard's betrayal is revealed, they'll probably run to Miguel's side. I believe their end will come at the hands of Diamond. Honestly, Jannard really needs to get what's coming to him. Che and Miguel, though, will be much harder to deal with, but I believe Tariq and Tommy will still manage to take them down. Tommy might get seriously injured, but they'll definitely come out on top. After all, the new spin-off Power Legacy is coming, featuring Tariq and Tommy, so don't worry that Force is ending because there's more to come. In Force's finale, we'll probably see Diamond gaining full control over Chicago, and as I just said, Tariq and Tommy will realize how great a team they make, and they'll continue fighting together to take over the entire criminal world in a brand new city. All right, now it's your turn. What do you guys want to see in the final season of Power Book 4 Force? Write your theories in the comments. And by the way, if you want to find out what could happen in Power Legacy, check out this video.